Yu, Kusue, and Keita become part of the mercenary team. Yusuke becomes a blacksmith, and the orcs already attack the town? What is going on in I'm Standing on a Million Lives? Granted, this episode was more of an informational episode. We got to learn a lot about the sisters who became the Vicodom, or whatever that's called. We got to learn about them and why they're still the Vicodom. And we got to learn a little bit more about some of the mercenaries who are there. Granted, we don't really care about the mercenaries like that because they're not the main squad. So seeing Yusuke become a blacksmith was by far one of the funniest things because he always hits the low chance jobs, but I think that's gonna have a big effect in the future. We'll talk about that later. Anyways, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Damo Senpai, and we are here to talk about episode 14. Yes, I will say episode 14 this time of I'm Standing on a Million Lives. If you are new to the channel and have yet to subscribe, make sure you go down below, hit that link in the description or the red subscribe button. Either one to help me towards that cause of becoming a full-time content creator. We're getting there. Everything is starting to fall into place. We just got to do a little more, get a little more support. So if you really support me and you want to support my dream, make sure you go down below and hit that red subscribe button. And or follow me on TikTok, follow me on Twitch, all of the above. It's been a weird week. We had to get a new CPU, we had to get a new motherboard, we had to get so much new stuff and put it into the PC, so hopefully everything lasts quite longer than it should now. So without any further ado, let's jump into episode 14 of I'm Standing on a Million Lives, because it's a couple of things that I want to talk about. One of those things being Yusuke's attitude. He still has that chip on his shoulder from his reality, the way that he views people, the way that he ranks people, the way, you know, just the way that he sees things. And it's interesting that Kusue was there to observe that, because you would have thought the more time spent with the team, you know, the regular team, which is Yusuke, Yu, Kusue, now Keita, and Yuka, that it would change his perception on how things work. But obviously it didn't. And Kusue is now a witness to all of this, because initially when they were having the conversation on the beach and Yusuke was showing off his new weapon and he said, oh, this is just to make sure the team actually survives. You seen the look on Kusue's face. She's just like, whoa, did Yusuke change? And it's time that I actually go check on him. So she goes and checks on him, sees that he's been, you know, having sleepless nights making these weapons, you know, learning how to become a blacksmith for the team's survival. But the one thing he did is he didn't care about Keita or Yuka. If they happened to die, it didn't matter to him because he said they're replaceable. But the ones who aren't replaceable are Yu and Kusue, which it makes sense, obviously, right? The main reason it makes sense is because Yusuke really knows Yu and Kusue. They all go to school together. They were all transported there at the damn near the same time. While Yuka came on late and Keita was like the latest edition. So the way that Yusuke ranks them is based on like how close they are to him and their usefulness, which makes the most sense, you know? It's very sensible that that's the case because of all the stuff that he's dealt with. The one thing that had me dying and one thing that had me really intrigued was just how shitty the jobs Yusuke get are. Because it's not that they're shitty, right? It's not that the jobs are shitty, it's just that he gets the really like menial jobs. Meaning they're all jobs that have their use, but it's not of any use on the battlefield. So he has to learn all these skills to try to help them, even though they don't really, like farming doesn't help them in the battlefield. I forgot did he become a mage too? He became something else when he was walking through that snow habitat and almost died. Well, yeah, he did die. So he's been learning all of these things, and this is where a little bit of theory crafting comes into play, because what if the game master is showing him all of these jobs and making him do all these jobs so that way he could become a jack of all trades, which he could become the most useful character in the anime in a smaller sense in that world. So the big picture to me is the game master wants Yusuke to get over the fact that these jobs aren't meaningless and become one of the strongest, if not the strongest character in the game. So that way everybody can see just how important of a character Yusuke is, because if you remember, majority of the times everybody thought Yusuke was useless. And that made sense because all of the jobs that he got were not fitting for battle, and everything that they had to do up to this point have been battle-faceted missions, right? That's what it's been this whole time. In order for Yusuke to become the strongest character in the game, he has to level up all of his skills, which is why I believe the Game Master on purpose is making him hit these 0.3% jobs that really nobody else should be getting. But that's my theory for that. And then all of a sudden the orcs attack, right? So dude, the snitch from last episode went up there, snitched again because the mercenaries that came there, and I initially thought that these mercenaries were like bad guys, but it seems that's not the case because you have two people who actually worked together before, and then you got one guy who is from G-Farm, right? You have one guy who's from G-Farm. I thought they were just gonna like flip it on them and get them all killed. They killed one of the orcs who was spying, got him out of the way. All the orcs were like, "Ah, I'm pissed, I can't take this, blah, 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 blah." And now they are on a rampage destroying the village. So now it's up to Yusuke, and well, not even really Yusuke because I don't think he's created every weapon in order for them to beat all the orcs. But now it's up to the rest of the squad to handle the orcs. And just how are they gonna handle the orcs? We'll figure that out in the next episode. But yeah, that's all I got for today's episode of I'm Standing on a Million Lives. If there was something that I missed that you probably picked up on, let me know in the comment section below. And if you really enjoy this series, also let me know in the comment section below, because I know oftentimes people don't enjoy isekai, but even still, in enjoying specific isekai, there's always traits that you'll pick up that can determine whether or not it's gonna be a good show. And I could give you my stamp of approval for I'm Standing on a Million Lives because I initially thought that it wasn't gonna be that good, but it turned out to be really, really good. Just like a lot of the anime that I watch, right? And I have another video coming out. I'm gonna be pumping out like maybe 6 or 7 videos this weekend. So y'all be prepared because it's about to be a flurry. But as always, I will see you guys in the next video.